The Zen Patriarch is a different animal, you could say, but it's not really an animal. It's like the Zen Patriarch. How we use it is like this. It's like there's a lot of recognition with what is being shared in the Zen tradition, with the awakening according to the paths that we follow, whether that's A Course in Miracles, whether that's the Infinite Way. Like there's a recognition or a comparison to be made in a certain sense, or it's referring to the same experiences, only the way to it is described in a totally different way, and the practices are different. But see, Joel Goldsmith teaches meditation too. It's like that's the way to go if you want to come to commune with your Creator. Meditation would be the way to do that, to become still, to connect, to open your consciousness for an experience, and this. So with A Course in Miracles, we do our practices, our lessons. What is the lesson? It's a meditative lesson. In fact, you repeat a sentence, you let some words come to you, or not, or you just be quiet. You repeat this a couple of times a day, maybe 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, a couple of times a day, to be still, to relax, to not force anything. No, in fact, you open up your consciousness. Now, what needs to be opened in your consciousness? So this is the same with Zen, or with any kind of spiritual path. It's of course, in fact, you come to, in fact, your spaciousness of your consciousness. You come to the place where it's not crowded with your ideas, or with your opinions, or with your judgments. No, it doesn't even have anything to do with your perception. How do we practice that? We close our eyes. We close our eyes. Now at least that is cancelled out. Seems like, okay, now at least I don't see anything, so there's no distraction there. But it doesn't matter what's around me anymore. For this moment that I'm meditating, then the attention goes within. Suddenly there are thoughts coming to your mind, like oh yeah, I don't see the images, but I still have the thoughts. Now what do I do with that? And we learn, okay, let the thoughts pass by as the clouds in the sky, or however that's being taught to you. Don't engage with them. Let them go. Release them. Let them be. Don't fight them, but also don't do anything with them. Don't follow your fantasies, or don't engage in a thought train, or look at them, but with disinterest, you could say. The same with your feelings. So during the meditation, suddenly you feel like such a strong feeling. Don't do anything with it. And this don't do anything with it is also, don't link it. Don't link it. Don't associate it with, for instance, a person, a situation, or an event that seems to be so in your mind, that's so important, it seems like. Now this feeling that you have, don't bring it back into a memory that you have, or a time tag that you place upon it. Don't link it into the third dimension, you could say. No, this feeling that comes up is only there to let it flow through your system, so it can literally be healed and can be gone. That's the invitation. It's like if you would pin it down, if you would give it that's because of this, and it has to do with that, and it is this and this and this and that and that and that, then you already gave it meaning. You literally nailed it into time. You literally place it in time. So what do? You place yourself in time. And this is not where meditation takes place. Like, no, you're not of this world. You're not of this world. No, this is a recognition. It's a recognition of your connectedness, the direct communication with what is. Recognizing that there's only one communicating. There's not God and me trying to meditate, trying to connect with God. There's not a God somewhere that does something for me. No, that's all within me, in my recognition of my oneness, in my experience of oneness. I see that is the truth about me. Now, if I'm still and I'm meditating, I'm in fact vacating my mind, literally giving it space for something else to occur, just like we did in the meditation. This is the description of human living, a compulsive repetition, like a compulsive repetition. It cannot stop. Filling up all the space in your consciousness, filling up all the space, always coming with a distracting thought, always wanting to make more of it, always doing this, always tempted to solve a problem that it doesn't even perceive well. It's always busy repairing while it doesn't see what the problem is. It cannot see that itself is the problem. Now this empty space that we're talking about, like this open space, I like that better, like an open space where in fact the communication can take place. It needs to be open. It's like, here's your altar. Here's your altar. If you place a lot of stuff on your altar, like it is not even an altar. It is more like, your closet or something. But if it's clean, now there, if your hands are open and you don't have any idea about how this works, what is going to be given you, what your place is in the universe, when you open that in your consciousness so that it can be shared with you, so that it can come to you, this is what we call like vacating your mind, literally giving space, offering space for a different experience. And this is what we did in the meditation. You ask, in fact, for the alternative. Because the human living we know, like the repetition you know. And I repeat this many times, like the human living, you know what it is. And when you're in it, it's very familiar. So when you're in it, it's very familiar. And that's why you already know what's going to happen. That's why you already know what the answer will be. That's what like it's on and on and on, repetition. And when you stop and allow the alternative to come to you, that alternative is so familiar to you because it literally comes from within you. It's alive and it's confirming your place in the universe instead of denying it. So it's like that is the occurrence then. It feels immediately very, very, very familiar. And you love it. And you say, yes, of course, this is the way. Of course this is what I want. Now I sink back. I had my experience. Now I sink back into my thoughts again. And here's the repetition of being, my mind cannot do anything else than, it seems like, then repeating the same story, hoping for the better this time, like hopefully it will work out better this time. And it is disappointed, and it does all the things that it does. Up to the moment that it asks for the alternative, then it's immediately available. And it becomes the most natural thing. Now this is our training, like this is our transition that we go through. You perceive a problem. Now you don't immediately start to repair it and fix it, but you stop right there and say like, oh, wait a minute. I don't exactly remember what the thing is, but I need to stop here. Oh yeah, there's an alternative I can ask for. I can ask for a miracle. I can ask for a new experience instead of the repetition of a compulsion. Now this incessant need of human mind to fill up the spaces with any kind of idea, even spiritual ideas, is enormous. And that's why we train this. That's why we train this. That's why it is a nice practice, because immediately when you apply the teaching, you could say, when you apply the teaching, you are open to receive an experience, and one that will feel very familiar. It's also very fresh and new. Like, it takes away all the effort. It takes away the heaviness that you experienced a moment ago. And literally, there's no exception. Like, you can use this, apply this in every situation, because none of it, what you perceive, is related to reality, but it's a repetition of the past. Like, what am I seeing? I am seeing only the past. So that's good to know. So I don't have to fix what I see, because it's already over. It's already gone. If I stay in the fixing, then I only reinforce the idea back into my consciousness and think it's happening now. That's all. So that's the simplicity, really. Now, in our Zen book, the Treasure of the True Dharma Eye, that's the book that we use from Dogen, Zen Patriarch Dogen. We come to a chapter today that's called like studying with body and mind. Now that sounds kind of familiar, and so I was pulled to it, and when I started reading it, some expressions came to me. Like, some of the words that were shared had the clarity that I need to be able to do anything with it. So that was a bit of a search, to be honest. But it did happen, so that's really great. And especially, in fact, just some basic ideas of emptiness, some basic ideas of it is not this, it is not that. Like, it is what we're talking about, the unification of opposites, the falling together of cause and effect, becomes more and more obvious when you go through the chapter. Now, this idea of the opposites that come together, in fact melt as one, is, I use this very specifically since we are familiar with the idea of a father and a son. Like, your heavenly father is the cause of you. You're the effect of him. Like, but cause and effect are indistinguishable. Like, they are literally inseparable. So they embody wholeness. They're whole. They're not two separate things. Now, this about the opposites, that comes back in the Zen teaching a lot, because it's like, it's not born, it's not dying, it's not this, it's not that. So it's basically, it tells you, no, it isn't what you think it is. No, it's not that. Now, and that's like in the koans that we use, and that can bring you to an experience, just because you see all the opposites come together. You see yourself coming together with your creator, in that sense. Like, it blends, suddenly you recognize there's one communicating. Neither existent nor non-existent, filling up the whole of empty space. Now, that was a very inspiring term. Neither existent nor non-existent. So here's the opposites that we're talking about. Studying the way with body and mind. Of the sun, moon and stars, what is seen by humans and devas must not be the same. What is seen by the various types of beings must not be the same. Such being the case, what is seen by one mind is equivalent. of the sun, the moon and the stars, what is seen by humans and devas must not be the same. What is seen by the various types of being must not be the same. Such being the case, what is seen by one mind is equivalent. These are mind. Can we take them as internal? Can we take them as external? Can we take them as coming? Can we take them as going? When they are born, do they add 1 iota, or do they not add it? When they die, do they remove 1 dust mote, or do they not remove it? Where are we to put this birth and death, and the view of birth and death? Up till now has been merely 1 moment or 2 moments of mind. 1 moment or 2 moments is 1. Mountains, rivers, the whole earth is 2. Mountain, rivers and the whole earth. Since mountains, rivers and the whole earth are neither existent nor non-existent, they are neither large nor small, neither attained nor unattained, neither known nor unknown, neither penetrated nor unpenetrated, nor do they change with awakening or not awakening. See, I love these expressions. I love this because I'll share with you a little bit. Like the great part is here, that it literally describes, in fact, what is already over, what had no effect, what not even happened. It didn't even happen. Now this is in fact related to an very existential or essential feeling that you have. Imagine what you see is gone. This is in fact lesson 7 of A Course in Miracles. I see only the past. Now, if I see only the past, why would I want to hold on to it if it's already gone? Now, who is the observer of what is gone? That what is gone too. So I'm the observer of what I see, and both are gone. Now, who am I? And that would be the final question then. Who am I? I'm not the observed, I'm not the observer itself, but what am I? In fact, it puts you right there. It puts you right in the place where you start to, you want an answer to this. So it's like and that's what I love about this is like a description, and in the meantime, a complete dissolving of the description. First, it is put as something without differences, in like an equality in a certain sense, and then also the equality never existed and was never there. You could see it like this, like all your actions and all your ideas and all your goals that you set. There's this awakening consciousness. Every goal that you set, that you want to achieve, you could say is already accomplished, but also is like, that will never work because the past is just as well over as the future. Now, what is real about you? What does exist then? And it's like if the past and the future dissolve into one, if they come together, where do they come together? In timelessness. Now, what is timelessness if I find myself in time? Like that is the same as I know my human living. But this human living is a compulsive repetition. A compulsive repetition because it's already over. And I'm busy repairing it continuously because I want it to be there. I prove to myself that it really is there and that it still is something, and that I need to undergo a certain experience in order to release it. I have to see the not value of it in order to release it. When I am placing no value on anything that I'm perceiving, I will not see it again. Same with the world. Like, what is the world? What is the sun and the moon and the stars? But my idea about what they are. What do I actually see? My past ideas, my associations with the forms that I'm perceiving. Do they have any reality? No, they don't. Is there a world apart from me? No, there isn't. So the world that I see is over and gone, just like I am. Now, what is real about me? See, that is like, what is real about you is what remains. But if none of this is so, what remains? See, this is like, it can look for a moment as an emptiness, but emptiness does not exist in that sense. So it's like, here you enter into the essence of it. If you really go to the bottom of this, like how far do you, in fact there's a relinquishment connected to it. Are you willing to let your ideas be relinquished in order to vacate your mind for a different experience, to open of the sun, the moon and the stars? What is seen by humans and devas must not be the same. What is seen by the various types of beings must not be the same. Such being the case, what is seen by one mind is equivalent. Like, you have your individual experience of form, of objective reality, as we say. These are mind. Can we take them as internal? Can we take them as external? Can we take them as coming? Can we take them as going? See, this in fact shakes you loose from your ideas about where do I see it actually. I see it, it seems to be outside of me, but can anything be outside of me? When they are born, do they add 1 iota or do they not add it? Like, look at yourself, like being born into this life. Did that add anything to it? If you recognize it for what it is, it dissolves into the nothingness that it came from, you could say. But still there's a you, there's an I am that goes beyond this, like that has nothing to do with these ideas that we're looking at, in fact. So when they are born, do they add 1 iota or do they not add it? When they die, do they remove 1 dust mote or do they not remove it? Where are we to put this birth and death and the view of birth and death? Up till now has been merely 1 moment or 2 moments of mind. 1 moment or 2 moments is 1. Mountains, rivers and the whole earth is 2. Mountains, rivers and the whole earth. Since mountains, rivers and the whole earth are neither existent nor non-existent, they are neither large nor small, neither attained nor unattained, neither known nor unknown, neither penetrated nor unpenetrated, nor do they change with awakening or not awakening. I love it. So this puts you right in the place where you could say, like, here's your total uncertainty. Now what you see is already over. What you think about yourself over too. Like, was it ever there? Was I ever born? Will I ever die? Like that is of no interest in that sense. It will tell you nothing about yourself. It did not add one iota to any of it. It's neither existent nor non-existent. See how in fact if you if you hear with your human ears, it would be devastating to hear this. It's like my whole world just blew up in my face. Like literally, there's nothing to hold on to. And whatever I have been doing, what was the purpose of it? Well, the purpose was to come to this point, recognizing it had no purpose but this. In fact, the same as where was all the drama for that I went through, all the suffering and all the turmoil and all the loneliness and all that, where was it good for? Well, to leave it behind, to let it roll back behind you up to this moment and see that it brought you here. It is over. It had no meaning. It brought you here, and now from this moment on, you say, have a choice to step into the alternative in every step that you take. Let yourself be guided, we say then in the Course in Miracles, let yourself be guided. It's like everything will be different just because you recognize that none of what you would add to it is a real addition. It's not going to bring anything new. What you bring in that sense, like your ideas of human ideas of mind, it will not bring anything new. So here's your open mind, your Christ mind, your whole mind, your Bodhi mind, as they say here, like your enlightened mind, your whole mind. The Bodhi mind is like an open mind. It follows, it extends. It doesn't know anything by itself. No, it doesn't need that. It doesn't need anything by itself, because it is not by itself. So this is great stuff to work with. So one of the expressions, and I had this like in the title, was the filling all this, the emptiness, like the complete filling of the emptiness. Now this is in fact the fear for vacating your mind, the fear for leaving everything behind, so to speak, the fear for seeing the things for what they are, in that sense seeing the meaninglessness of it. Gives you the opportunity to actually come into an experience of your wholeness. Now this is the Zen practice just as well. So here they say too, in the practice of mind and body, it's like the meditation is important. You do that with your body. You sit down and you meditate with your mind, and with your mind it is like they don't really have a mind training in that sense, but by being still, in fact, it is already so different, because when you are still, you're not doing the thing that a human being does, and that is keeping itself busy and distracting itself and doing all these things. It's like that is already putting you right on the spot. No, there's no way you're going to sit for an hour, and now you literally burn up with your ideas. So it's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to leave this place. I'm going to stand still and let this literally cave in on me. Let all my ideas cave in on me. So filling the empty space was one of the things that we looked at as an assignment, and you can express that in your own way. So now for me, the thought of today was really yeah, I could say like very inspiring, the compulsion repetition. And I'd like, well, that's a very pure human thing. So let's see if I can find some expression for that. Because then you see or feel or hear what that is.